Hi, my name is Gabi, also known as Mrs Pigeon. Happy December everybody. Today's video is all about my autumn favourites. I apologise for the really weird lighting by the way. It's like a really greyish colour outside. The first fun thing I did this autumn was I went out on a day trip to London with my closest friends and we visited two museums. We visited the British Museum and the Natural History Museum. The British Museum was more about the more historical side of stuff, so we saw a lot about Egypt, Japanese culture, I saw a lot about China. We had to cut our trip around there short because the museum's so big. So when we went to the Natural History Museum, which was more sciencey than anything, and I preferred that museum. It had a section on dinosaurs, it had a massive T-Rex robot. Oh my god, it was so cool. They had a brand new thing in the museum which was the moon room, I think it was called, and it was just a dark blue room and you go in there and there's a gigantic moon. I was over the moon. I love anything celestial. I really do love space. You're going to see in this video actually how much I love space. There was an escalator that went up into like an asteroid, which was really weird but cool. And they had an earthquake simulator. All the while we were looking at natural disasters and hazards, I could just hear this rumbling and I was like, what's happening? It was a room and it was set like a shop, and yeah, the floor starts shaking and then things start falling off the shelves. Oh my god. And it was very like surreal doing that because in England we don't get earthquakes. We don't really think about earthquakes. The worst we get usually, at least in the south, is flooding. When I was experiencing the earthquake I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I felt really bad because I was like, whoa, wait, this actually happens in real life. And then I realised how scary it was. And then we also went to this donut place called Donut Time and then walked to Trafalgar Square and sat on the steps and ate them, which was also really nice. And then we visited Buckingham Palace. We didn't go in there, but we went outside, saw the guards with their guns, which is again another thing that we don't get used to seeing in England. Moving on to something that wasn't as explorative or educational. It was one of my friend's birthdays and her name's Paige. And she had a party where we all had to dress up with things beginning with P, and because her birthday is in October and I was already planning at this point to dress up as Pennywise, I did my sort of prototype Pennywise makeup and costume. There was a present, there was a pirate, a priest, two pink ladies, you know, from Greece. Paige herself was being Poison Ivy, I was Pennywise. It was such a laugh. This one's just a little one for cancer research. We had to wear pink to work and we all brought in £1 and wore as many pink items as possible. We actually did it last year as well and they probably did it a few years before as well. And myself and one of my colleagues wore the most, and I thought I'd win. I had 12 items on last year, but my colleague had like 40 something pink things on. So this year I was like, right, I'm gonna aim for 100 pink things. I didn't actually count as I was grabbing them and putting them on, but drum roll, 78 things. I had loads of hair clips, I had different earrings in, so the perks of being quite pierced really worked. I had a different nail varnish colour on each fingernail. And my colleague, who won last year, only wore a couple of things that were pink. I really wanted it to be close, you know, that's the best way to win. Then of course there was Halloween, and also I did Halloweek. Halloweek was really fun. I'm proud of myself but annoyed because I planned and started doing videos in August this year, and then things happened. Then I carried on in October, so I sort of took a break in August and September. It was hard because obviously I work 9 to 5 as well at my job, and then coming home I would just work on videos till like gone midnight. One of the nights I didn't go to bed till 3 because I was still working, and so I was knackered and not feeling very good. I was still proud of myself because I managed to do it somehow, and that's when I did the Pennywise makeup again, and I did it much better that time. Even though the contact lenses didn't arrive, they still haven't arrived by the way. I ordered them in September. It's December. On Halloween itself, I went to my friend's house and we had snacks and we watched films. I was going to be Pennywise, but by the time Halloween rolled round, I was so knackered from Halloweek that I just wanted to have quite a chilled costume. I still wanted to dress up. My friend Shannon was being 11 from Stranger Things season 3 with her like funky shirt and like the blindfold and the blood. And so I thought I'll just be Max because my hair's kind of gingerish, like at the bottom. I do dress like I'm from the 80s quite a lot, So I picked an outfit that was very much like Max's, and it was so much more relaxing. If I sat there in that Pennywise costume with the wig, all that face paint and makeup, and the itchy costume, I would have just been so stressed. So it was good that I was just sitting in my own clothes, normal makeup, so it was quite a laugh. Yeah, it was good. I've also this sort of time, Mark, who, those of you who don't know, I was in a relationship with him. He had to go away for work, so I looked after our cats, which are at his place, which was where I used to live. I got to look after Purdy and Mushu, so it was really lovely seeing them so much. Like, NANI? Bloody hell. You okay? What? Are you sneezing or are you gonna be sick?
What just happened? Never mind.
Are you right now, yeah? Don't know what that was all about. You got jealous because I'm just mentioning the other cats. Another thing I've been doing recently, which I was doing in summer as well, but just not as often, is going to this cafe, which is called the Vineyard Cafe. On a Saturday, which is the only time when I go, Saturday evening, it gets taken over by the Vineyard Church, the people who work there, and it gets its name changed to Late Night Coffee Shop, which is really cool. The people who host it are really lovely, and they do quizzes every so often, so it's sort of like a pub quiz but in a cafe, and they do really cool milkshakes and hot drinks, and they have really nice snacks, and they also have a load of board games that you can play for free. We did the Halloween quiz, and we've just very recently done the Christmas quiz. For the Halloween one, we were called The Nightmare Before Quizmas, and for the Christmas one, we were Quizmas Time, Quizzletoe and Wine. I think we came second with the Halloween one, but the Christmas one, despite our best efforts, we came last, and we won a booby prize, which is this really funky toilet roll. Well, the toilet roll's not funky, but the paper is. But yeah. So it says, to Quizmas Time from the Late Night team. I've got quite a few goodies from in there as well, actually, which I will talk about in a second. Didn't lie to you, I'm already back. So I bought quite a few things this autumn. Obviously a lot of it is Christmas stuff, so I can't actually show you. Because, I mean, literally the awkward angle is because I've got so many unwrapped Christmas presents that have actually been piled up to here, over here, and I just don't want no spoilers. And also behind me under that blanket is a load of unwrapped Christmas presents. And I also feel like I should probably say, in case anyone worries about my spending, is my last pay from my work I did a lot of overtime, but from the Late Night Coffee Shop I got this beautiful multicoloured pillow, which actually was discounted because the zip was bust, and my friend Shannon was playing with it after I'd bought it, and it just kind of was fixed. It's just did itself back up just fine. But yeah, how beautiful is this pillow? It's very Gabi-ish, but that's the only thing I've got on me now to show you from the Late Night Coffee Shop. A lot of it is stuff that I got like in the summer, and it's all packed away in my garage. I've already shown this, but I got this Pizza Planet cup from Primark. And as you can tell, a lot of space stuff, because I also got this mug from Sainsbury's, which is a little rocket, and this bit you can actually write on it with chalk. You can draw a little spaceman. Spaceman, oh, that song was #1 when I was born. Fact. That's why I like space so much. I also got this little squidgy star from Mario, and I like to sit it in the little cup. Still speaking of space, I got some bedding, and it's double-sided as well, so it doubles up with just pale blue with stars all over. Ugh, I can't show this very well. It's out of this world. I got a few bits and bobs clothes-wise, so also from Primark, I got this black jumper with Pluto, Mickey, Donald and Goofy on it, and I'm not sure what that's referencing. I'm guessing it's some kind of band photo. I don't even wear a lot of black, but it's colourful and it's Disney and it's really comfy, so I got that. I got this Tommy Hilfiger jumper off of Depop, and it's multicoloured and striped, which is very cute, and it's got patches on the elbows, which is always a little bit of fun. Also from Depop I got the jumper I'm wearing at the moment, which is another cropped jumper, and it says Ohio Tigers on it. I don't even know what kind of team it is, but I really liked the colours on it. Had a really nice like retro feel to it, so. And the last item of clothing I'm going to show y'all is Holidays are coming, holidays are coming. It's from Sainsbury's and it's the happy Coke boy. So very exciting. 'Tis the season, it's always the real thing. And the last things I want to talk about, and this is what I mentioned when I said about my pay, is I got myself an Alexa. Whoa, she didn't react to me. Alexa, knock knock.
Knock knock. Who's there? Banana. Banana who? Banana fana fo fana fi fi mo mana. Banana.
And also, I want to move out next year, so there are a few next gen consoles I wanted, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get them, but I'm saving up so much next year. So, because it's Black Friday, so you can let me off, I got a Nintendo Switch and a PS4. And the games I got for the Switch were Mario Kart, Super Mario Odyssey, and Zelda Breath of the Wild. I also subscribed to the Nintendo Network thing, so you can play it online, and I got the like Super Nintendo console thing on the Switch. I also bought Jackbox Party Games, which I've mentioned before quite a bit on this channel, and 1-2 Switch. And then for the PS4 I just got Crash and Spyro because they're my boys. Because I don't have a TV in my room and I've been back at my parents' house since April, I haven't been able to really play a lot of games on my own. I know it's such like a big problem. Video games has always been my go-to way of escaping. It's just, it takes my mind off stress and anxiety and depression and stuff. It's always been that way for me since I was a kid. And by having a Switch, I could just play it on the screen, the little screen instead. I've forgotten how much I love playing video games and just being immersed in a game. I just feel like it's been so long since I've sat and played like a proper video, like a console game, which actually brings me on to the next thing I want to talk about, which is the games I've been playing. I have been binge playing Mario Kart. I never used to be that big of a fan of racing games, but I'm really into them now. And been smashing it so far. Been getting all those stars, winning first place in each one. It's good. Why am I sitting like a gremlin again? But now it's time to talk about what I've been watching. I can't think of a pose. So last favourites video, I didn't have time to fit it all in, and because of YouTube, I can't really include much, so I'm just gonna list off the films I've watched and then put the trailers in the description. So yeet. So the first film I want to talk about, which I hadn't seen before, was The Shining. It's one of the films I watched on Halloween with my friends, and it's the movie adaptation of Stephen King's book The Shining, which is about a family that go to a hotel. And you know what, I actually don't understand. Stephen King always has one weird thing that's like evil, and the hotel seems to be quite evil. And Jack Nicholson's character, also called Jack, goes crazy. You know the "Here's Johnny" situation. He doesn't say it like that. "Here's Johnny." And I didn't expect it to be that scary, but no, it was really good, very spooky. If you're like me and you live under a rock when it comes to films, I would recommend The Shining. I also watched in the cinema Doctor Sleep. I watched that after I saw The Shining, which stars Ewan McGregor, who plays the boy in The Shining who returns to the hotel. And it's a very strange film because I thought it would be all about The Shining, but it was like a whole other story going on at the same time. I'm not going to explain much more because I don't want to ruin it, but yeah, it's very strange, but I loved it. And the next film I watched is another horror film which I watched on Netflix, which is called Hellfest. I think I briefly mentioned that as well in my last video. It's actually really good. I didn't expect much of it, but it's basically like a big Halloween event. You know, like Thorpe Park, for example, does like Scarefest or whatever it's called, and there's like scary mazes and stuff. It's basically that, and it's called Hellfest, and these group of friends go there. But there's also a serial killer that's there, and he likes to pick on like very particular people. Like he'll pick a target and then go for them and their friends, and he wears a mask, so it looks like he's part of the event. And it's pretty gruesome actually. It was actually really good. Like I said, I didn't expect much because a lot of the more recent horror films, especially ones that have like gone straight to DVD, but like straight to Netflix, usually aren't that as good anyway. As good as sort of 90s/noughties horror films, and I was pleasantly surprised. And the last film I want to talk about isn't actually a horror film at all, which you would expect a video in autumn, and it's actually Bohemian Rhapsody, which stars Rami Malek playing Freddie Mercury, and it's all about Freddie Mercury's life and how he joined Queen, well, how he became part of Queen with the others. And I love Queen so much, so I was always buzzing to watch this film, but I heard mixed opinions about it and I didn't want to watch it in case it but no, I really loved it, and I think Rami did such a good job being Freddie Mercury, and I learned so much about Freddie that I didn't know about before. If you're a fan of Queen, you'll love this film. As for TV shows, I haven't really been watching a lot. I can't think off the top of my head anyway. I've been watching Taskmaster, which is the Dave... No, yeah, it's Dave. Yeah, it's Dave. But that's really good. It's Greg Davies and Alex Horne, who are... This is all like English comedians, by the way. They host it and they have these comedians come on and perform these really weird tasks. And it's really fun. Like, I really want to go on it, but I'm neither famous nor funny. So... You know, I've also been watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I'm a Celebrity is a bunch of celebrities go into the Australian jungle. It's hosted by Ant and Dec, who are, you know, national treasures in the UK, and they live on very basic rations in the jungle. You know, it's not glamorous at all. They sit there sweating and they don't have a proper shower. They just have like a little waterfall thing that they shower under, and they sleep in hammocks and sleeping bags. And then they take part in these trials, which are called bush tucker trials, where they have to like eat disgusting stuff or like be almost drowned in a tank. What I love about that is that I watch it with my whole family. So, well, not my whole family, but my mum, dad and sister. And it's the only time we all sit around together and watch something these days. So it's very nice. And Caitlyn Jenner's been in this one. Another thing I did this month, I did actually film, but the video doesn't look very good, which is a shame. But I made this little clay pigeon, and it's Mr. Pigeon, and I did a video about it because I made it out of like children's clay. It's like for 3-year-olds, and I wanted to see if you could create a little sculpture with it, and I did. But the video was just not very good at all, unfortunately. So, I mean, here's my reaction to the finishing product. No way! Oh, he's so cute and handsome. This is the best thing I've ever made ever. But yeah, I still wanted to include it because, you know, I spent quite a few hours, no, probably about 2 hours, putting it together. And yeah, he's cute, little mascot. So sorry to disappoint with a lack of video there, but at least you got to see the finishing magic. Before I wrap up the video, Spotify. I've got my Christmas playlist, which I put together, which is probably like every other playlist for Christmas out there, but you know, if you love me and you love Christmas, you might as well just check out mine. Proper Christmassy bangers there. And also my my autumn and winter favourites playlist is also there. I update it as much as I can. There's no Christmas songs in that, it's just songs that give me a wintry or autumny vibe. So check that out as well if you want. And the reason why I'm taking the time to talk about music is because I listened to the best mashup I have heard in a long time, maybe even ever, right? And you know I like mashups, and I just wanted to like talk about it and like link it in the description. It's so good. So it's a mashup of, and bear with me, you'd have to listen to know this works, The Phantom of the Opera, God is a Woman by Ariana Grande, and Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift. Those 3 songs mashed together you wouldn't think would work, but the way that this person has done it, I'm obsessed with it. I keep listening to it. It's really like powerful, like you have to listen to it when you're done with this video. Please just listen to it, it's amazing. And with all my flapping and excitement finished, that is the end of today's video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can give the video a like. If you'd like to show it to your buddies, then go ahead. If you'd like to see the rest, you can subscribe to the Pigeon's Nest. Let me know what you want to see next, because I always run out of ideas. And don't forget to whack the bell button so that I know you're there and you know I'm there. Bye!